there are three things that are required for your spiritual growth, and that is, first is of course meditation or prayer of any kind that you connect with the Lord, and then second is the service, and third is the satsang, seva, and sadhana.
What is the third?
So sadhana is the meditation. First is number one is meditation or some kind of a prayer ritual, whatever that you want to go do regularly. Second is the service that you go and serve people, like we go and serve in the soup kitchen. We are not getting anything back, right? Satsang is when we are sitting together in a group and just talking about God, knowing about ourselves, or discussing, raising our vibrations by doing them. So when we are doing it in a group, it becomes a satsang. Satsang means when it's a whole, like in a church, when you go and do all of it together, the same thing. And when you do it on your own, alone in your home every day, that is your own personal meditation or prayers or rituals that you guys like to do. Sat means truth, and sang means the whole community. So when the whole community comes together to learn about the truth about themselves, about the God or whoever they believe in. So that is the satsang. So when we do the volunteer service, do we expect anything or do we get anything?
No.
So that is the kind of service which will raise your spiritual growth, which will help you in your spiritual growth. Now how? Why? Because now we are doing an action, right? We are doing an act for the helping others out of kindness, out of compassion. And when we are doing some action, we are not getting anything returned back. Are we? No. So we are not getting nothing back. So who's going to give it back to us? From the universe, or you can say the God will give us back, right? Because there is nothing coming back. If the transaction is there, but it's coming back from the universe. And however many times, 10 folds, 100 times, it's up to the universe how it gives it back. But it will come back because every action has a reaction. Has to have a reaction. So the reaction will come back. It's just that it's not coming back from the person that we are helping. It's going to come back from the universe or from the God or for somebody else that we are not expecting. So when we talk about universe, it's not that the universe or God will come and stand in front of us, right? It is going to be through somebody, but from whom that we are not expecting anything, right? We are not expecting that I gave something, some food to somebody, and when I'm in need, somebody else will come and give me the food. So that's how the universe helps. It gives a thought to somebody else, okay, go and help that person. And you must have felt also like you're walking by, you see somebody needs help and you want to go and help. So who's giving that thought? The universe is putting that thought in you, go and help that person, he needs your help. So that's how you get it back. You give $1, $10 you've written in your account, and that's how your destiny for the next life also becomes. A lot of children born in rich family, that's how they've created their destiny. They were sharing what they had in their last life, and that's how they accumulated that account of credit, and now it's coming back by being born in a rich family, and now they will enjoy all the things that our universe is giving it to that family. They become part of enjoying that fortune. So basically that's what that is not transactional. So basically everything is transactional, but it's not a transaction between two human beings. It's not a transaction between two living beings. It's a transaction between us and the universe. So basically everything, you are right, everything is transactional and nothing comes free. Everything has to happens for a reason. If you're getting something, also it's because you give at one point to somebody, you did help out somebody, and that's why now you're also getting it back. Or you worked for it, that's a different thing. If you're working for it, then you are going to get the result. That's an action you're performing, and that's the reaction that's coming. So that's how the service is something which is very important for your growth. So these three things should be, if you want your spiritual growth and if you want to raise your vibrations, so then you have to have these three things. You should include it in your life, and that is As I said, first is sadhana. Sadhana is your own practice that you do every day, daily practice that you do to raise your own vibrational frequency. And that could be meditation, prayers, or listening to some devotional music, and connect in some way or the other, connecting it with the higher energy. And secondly is, as I said, seva. Seva is service that I just explained, voluntary service, where you're not getting anything back, but you are still doing something out of compassion, or out of love, or unconditional love, and that brings you, raises your vibration. Now that you've made an act, and the reaction is written in your destiny. That's how we create destinies. Okay, we snatch something away from somebody. You are taking somebody else's, what was due to somebody else. You have written a minus in your account. So what was due to come will not come to you now, because what was due to somebody else, now you've taken it away from them. So that again is writing minus in your account. So if $10, you took $1 away from $10 that were due to come to you will be minus because of that one. So basically, when we snatch something, steal something away from somebody, or snatch something away from somebody, we are doing our own, just to our own bad luck. Bad luck in a sense that it creates a debit in our account. Yes. So everything is transactional, but transaction doesn't have to be between the two human beings. Okay, even between the animals and the plants, if you've taken up the responsibility of a plant or an animal, then you have to take care of that animal, and he will give you back in return is the love, the care that he will give it back to you. That's his return that he can give. Now, if you've noticed, as I was suggesting the other day also, no animals or plants ever snatch anything from other people. Like, they are not taking away, not hurting us or the other things. They just want to live their own life, peacefully. All they are looking for is the survival and protection. Basic needs have to be met for them, warmth, food, warmth, and protection and survival. That's all they're looking for, basically. So they are not in the looking out to hurt human beings or hurt other animals also, unless it is in their nature. That is their food item. Like the lion has to kill a small animal to eat. That's his food item. So that is how the nature has created, and that has also been created simply to create the balance in the whole universe, equilibrium. Otherwise, if you don't, the big animals don't kill the small animals, what will happen? There will be animals all over. So this is how the balance is created on the earth, by big animals killing the small animals. But they will only kill the small animals for their food purposes or for whatever their own protection. But they will not come and kill us or anybody unless they themselves are threatened. If you've noticed, all the animals, if they come and hurt you, it is only because they themselves feel threatened and they're trying to protect themselves. So that's how they come and attack you. But what is the human beings are the only ones which have been given an evolved mind. They have a bigger mind to think. They have been given a mind which can think consciously and make the decisions, and yet they're making the decisions in a negative manner. We are trying to snatch things, hurt the earth also, because the earth is also a living being, right? It's also a living entity. And you keep digging holes in it to take out the resources. So when we do something out of heart, we are not looking for something in return, right? So that is what he means, and not with our calculative mind that what I'm going to get back. So when we are thinking of what I'm going to get in return, even if it's fame, I'm going to become famous and my picture will be on the newspaper, then that is something that I'm expecting. So whenever there's an expectation there, then it becomes transactional. But when there is no expectation, but you should be satisfied with, so then that is non-transactional. Okay, so basically service should be non-transactional, then only it becomes service. Otherwise it becomes karma, becomes a action and a reaction which is coming back. Whatever happens in our life is, if it's happening to us, it is a reaction. In the life, whatever is happening, it is a reaction that's coming from the past action. Like a situation is created in your life and you say, why is it happening to me? It is because it's a reaction. It's come to teach us some lesson. It is come to make us stronger. When somebody else's dies, whose life is that? Somebody else's, right? Your friend. He has a life plan just like yours. When we enter the body, I have explained that earlier also. When we enter the body, we always have a plan. Every soul has its own plan, right? For how long it's going to be in the body, what all situations it's going to encounter, how it's going to learn different lessons to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally become strong. That is the goal of every soul that comes into the body, takes the body. So what happens is that when we do the meditation, lot of these layers of negativity that we have stored in the all of 5 bodies automatically start getting cleansed. And as they get cleansed, your own nature also starts changing. Your own character starts changing. What you used when your vibrations were low, that time your mind was more powerful than you yourself were. You could not control your mind. If your mind is saying, as you said, it's not easy. So you were listening to your mind was in control and you had to listen to it. But as the layers of negativity comes out and as your mind gets free, you will see you will become in control of your mind. And then you will be able to tell, no, I do not want that. I want this. So it's like you train a small child, keep telling him again and again till he listens and learns. That's how you have to train your mind. It's just like a small child. You have to teach him again and again to tell him, no, you don't want it. Ultimately, he will get the message. So that's how it is. And that is where the meditation and your breathing exercises, pranayam, and being mindfulness. So this is being mindfulness when you keep telling your mind, no, I do not want to go that way, in that direction. That when we hold on to something that is giving us stress, okay, it is our choice. We are holding on to it. So then if that stress brings some kind of, because that is an action that we are doing, right? We want to hold on to something which is hurting us. So who are we hurting? Ourselves. And if we are hurting ourselves, and because of that you have a disease or something, then whose creation it is? Us. We created that disease because we were stressing over something which was not in our hands to change, right? So everything is your choice. You can choose to continue going that path, or you can choose to, okay, I'm not going to stress over it. It's your choice. How much harder it is, no matter how much hard it is, you still have a right to choose and do what you want to do. Okay? You have that right. Okay? When we are remembering somebody, automatically our energy gets connected to his energy. Okay? So then if we are remembering him in a negative manner, we are sending negative vibes to that person, wherever it is. And if we are sending positive, so supposing if you wanted to say you feel sorry for something, comment that you made to somebody, and the person is no longer here, and you are feeling sorry and you want to say sorry, but he is not available, he is dead, right? So he's no longer in the physical body, so you cannot say sorry to him. So how do we release ourselves from that? We say sorry to him in our mind and send him the good vibes, send him the blessings. Then he will get the blessings, and also now you have freed yourself from the attachment that was holding you. Whether you hold somebody with love in your mind or with hatred in your mind, attachment is there. When you think of somebody, you are attaching your energy to that energy, to the other person's energy, whether it's with hatred or with love. It is the same thing. So when you want to let go, you have to let them go, and you have to send them unconditional love and blessings to that person, so that person can move on and you can move on. So Vivekananda, he's a very big sage. He also came and gave a speech in Chicago in 1800s. That gentleman, he said, everything changes with a blink of an eye. Everything is vibrational, and everything is energy, and everything is constantly changing. That's what his message was. Similarly, when we draw energy from the source, we raising our vibrations. So all the thoughts that are stored in our intellect body automatically starts coming up, and that is the process of cleansing. So you don't have to get worried why I'm watching all so many thoughts. That is the way it's going to come up. It's going to come up, but you do not have to interact with those thoughts. That's very important. You don't have to say, no, that's not how it is. You just watch them. Like a movie, when the movie is going on in a screen, you don't jump around and say, no, don't go to the left, don't hit that soldier, hit the you do not go and interact. You just watch it because you understand it's just a movie. Similarly, watch all the thoughts that are coming. It's just like a movie. You watch them, and when you watch them, they move away. That is a layer cleansed out. But if you watch them and you start interacting, no, that's not how it's supposed to be, and then you are restoring that information again in your mind. That is the process where that is again what happened now. You involved your mind. The mind has now become active. Instead of just cleansing happening, now it has become active and now it's restoring the information. So the process is not just to watch the mind and not interact, not to say good or bad or yes or no, this is not how it's supposed to be, and I don't think so, or she was bad, so now when we engage our mind, then we are restoring the information. But when we are just watching the mind, then that information is getting erased out of our mind. So that's how the cleansing is happening. So when a lot of thoughts are coming up and we are not we are just watching it like a movie, then that movie that's going on is getting out of our intellect body, and that's how the cleansing happens, and that's how you're cleaning out your mental system, your intellect body. And the more you cleanse it out, the more lighter you will feel, the more happier you will feel, the more less of negative thoughts will come in to bother you, less of those past memories will come to bother you, because now they're getting cleansed out of the system. Okay, in mindfulness, when we are watching a thought, okay, I'm getting angry, what is happening? You are raising your awareness, right? So you're watching your mind, you understand. Before you would just react to the situation, you get erupt in the anger, and now you have started watching your mind and you see, okay, he's saying something and I don't like it, I'm getting irritated. That's the next step before the anger erupts. And when at that point of irritation, we can stop ourselves. Okay, I'm getting irritated. So how do we think? Okay, he has a right to think his way. I have a right. He has a free will the way I have a free will. He can think. We may not agree, but I don't have to.
You step back.
Yes. Basically, you are creating. When we start thinking about it and we are stepping back, that is a stepping back, right? We are not now reacting. We have stopped ourselves from reacting and we are being mindful. We are watching our mind and we are choosing not to erupt in the anger. And at the point of irritation, we can stop ourselves and move away. Move away from the room, move away from the thought in your own mind. You don't have to move away from the room, but you can change your thought pattern. You can tell your mind, he has a right to think the way he wants to. I may not agree, but he also has a free will just like I have. Understand? So that is being mindfulness. And then the pranayama happens. Now with the pranayama, what is pranayama? Breathing exercises. You've seen in yoga, we do breathing exercises. They teach you also different breathing exercises, right? So the breathing exercises are what? What are the breathing exercises doing? That's also raising our vibrations. How? We are inhaling more energy, right? And as a result, we are raising the vibration. We are raising our energy level. And when we raise our energy level, which is the body that gets cleansed? Emotional body. Our emotions are connected to the breath. So, our emotional body, where the more breathing exercises you do, the less angry you will become.
So
because angerness is a low vibrational frequency emotion, whereas when you take more and more energy, your awareness will raise, and as a result of the raised awareness, you will not react, you will respond to the situation. You will be able to take that step back from reacting. Yes.
The emotion can be paired with the breathing.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
Or
you are
it
getting
is
angry,
or it is
the other
paired
day,
with-
remember?
It is automatically paired.
No,
with
remember I
everything.
told you, if you are feeling very angry or upset or something negative feeling is coming out and you want to change it, take a couple of deep breaths.
Mhm.
Immediately you are changing the emotion.
Right.
Immediately, right away. Take a couple of deep breaths. So hold your breath for a second, 5 minutes or 10, 15 minutes. Hold your breath for 15-20 minutes and you will change that emotion.
That's true.
Now your mind, instead of reacting, has become engaged in taking breaths.
Mhm.
So it is all about the mind. Everything is happening by the mind, through the mind, and actually in the mind also. It is not you who is doing it. You are just the energy. You are providing the energy to the mind to do all these things, good or bad. Okay? So it is all mind's affair. So just by watching that mind, you are separating yourself from your mind. You are creating that distance because you are no longer the mind. You are not the mind. You were associating with the mind, thinking I am that mind, but you are not the mind. You are watching the mind, so you are telling the mind you are separate. Who you can only watch when you are separate. If it's together, you can't even watch, right? So you have, if you want to watch a movie, you have to. There has to be a little distance. So you're creating that distance between you and the mind. Yes. So these are the three things that we can use in our life for our spiritual growth. That is, as I said, meditation, pranayam, which is the breathing exercises, and mindfulness. This is a part of the own, as I was saying, for your own sadhana that we call sadhana. Earlier, remember I explained that is the practice that we do for our own evolution, our own growth, spiritual growth. So sadhana is, it will involve these three steps. You should have all these three steps in your life. So you should be doing some breathing exercises daily if you can. You should be always mindful, always watch your mind as whenever, as your awareness will grow, you will be immediately be aware of what's going on in your mind, and if you're going to erupt in anger or something is irritating me, so you will immediately get to know yourself, that, oh, irritation is coming up, oh, I don't like this. So this things, awareness will come. Before, earlier, we are always reacting to the situation. You say, as Brenda says, we can't help ourselves. So you have to create a distance between you and the mind. Then you'll be able to help yourself. Till that distance is created, you will not be able to help that. And that's where the mindfulness comes in. And then, of course, breathing, pranayam, mindfulness, and then the meditation. Meditation we should incorporate every day in your life if you can, even if it's for 10-15 minutes, but do it. Okay, so that's very important. And so that is the practice that we must do it every day, and that is the sadhana point. That is our daily practice. Second thing that for our spiritual growth that we need is, what did I say? Service. Unconditional volunteer service. We should be doing volunteer services wherever we can. Or if you don't have time, you're doing a job, you don't have to go and do a volunteer service at any of the organization. You can just become helpful, compassionate, helping somebody whenever you see somebody in in need of help them, crossing the road, getting them a glass of water like Carlos does for everybody. So that's a service. And he's not expecting anything back. So when we do not expect something back, that becomes volunteer. Okay? So volunteer service is the second thing that we should incorporate in our life. And third is satsang. Satsang is this kind of a groups. Yeah, going to the church and doing the collective meditation or collective attending the services, or coming to the groups like this, because satsang raises your, what does it raises? Your knowledge, your awareness, and with a like-minded person, you are able to, because you are vibrating at the same vibrational frequency, so you are able to connect, make friends also, right? Okay. So these three things, satsang, service, and your own daily practice.
Spell the first one.
sadhana, satsang, and service, seva. Yes, yes. Okay. So that is for our spiritual growth. So these are the steps that we need to take for our spiritual growth.